very good morning. Asinifisele sinamukelelo umhlahlelo nekusile breakfast show. Thank you so much for waking up with us. It is a beautiful Wednesday morning, the 23rd of August 2023. Ndivusela ko ngulungelele makakula simakhona kusenkethe kuvuka nathi lo mhla ekseni nginemnguni lapha my co-host. How are you this morning, Sfisa?
Doing very well, Lulu. Just trying to, get used to the fact that my temperature is kakhulu. And for those that don't know, if you work inside the studio, there's a lot of equipment and I would say kube nema temperatures la setulu. So it's quite different, the transition from winter. We used to enjoy this environment in winter, but now it's summer. We're still trying to get used to it. Doing very well this morning, hoping that wherever you are doing very well as well. On the program today, the Ministry of Economic Planning and Development, Macroeconomic Analysis and Research Unit. They have produced the Economic Bulletin, Volume 45. The Kulumisa analyze quarter two, which is the period from April to June. Quarter two wemnyaka walonyaka bakhulumisa nje economic developments, covering a summary of international and domestic developments. Tawukhulumisana ke na Nombuso Dlamini waka Economic Planning and Development. She's an economist there. Kubuka these global and domestic developments and how we can improve going forward. Sisaqhubeka nawo ke lo mnyaka. Sitawukhulumisana naye nyalo nje nga 6:30 ungayenza ngalomuhle.
And also on the show, sina government spokesperson Alpheus Nxumalo dokumento ukuthi bekumele sibe naye elangeni langemsombuluko kepha ke kwabane dinginga silo nje sikhuluma ngendzaba lenkulu ye-double celebration letaba yenteka nje emalangeni la-14 kuphela on the 6th of September. Dokumento ukuthi ingwenyama nayivula eParliamente ye-11 yakuveta lokhu kokuthi live litawugubha iminyaka lengama-55 latfola inkhululeko liphindze ligubhe iminyaka lengama-55 ingwenyama yadalwa. On the 15th of July this year, when the minister was unveiling the 55-55 double celebration logo, she said the celebration would be themed a year of turnaround, fostering unity, peace and prosperity in Eswatini. The last double celebration nje lesabanayo lapha eveni yabanjwa ngeminyaka wa 2018 lapho khona ingwenyama changed the country's name from Swaziland to Eswatini. Silenje amalanga lang 14 kuphela nje abasengivedile sabe sikhulumisana naye Alpheus Nxumalo kuva kabandi nje ngema major achievements live libe nawo post independence kanye ke nemthelela live libe nawo ngekuthi lamanye amava kaSADC nawo athole inkhululeko sabe sikhulumisana naye lomhla at 7:30.
Certainly looking forward to that conversation nayo Mnguni lungelele siyaqhela ukuthi i-double celebration lapha kangwane kuba ngumsebenzi lomkhulu kangakanani. Sithemba nje ukuthi onke amaswati excited nokuthi laba tawukhona batawuhamba baye kuwo lo msebenzi utabe umuhle kangaka lesikhathi sanyalo asibuke ama leading headlines kumaphephandaba la khona lapha eveni.
Alright, sitaqala ngebuka i-Times of Eswatini lo mhla kungolesithathu leti hamba embili. Special voting exercise, mixed feelings as over 300 voters turned back, told by EPC officials they don't qualify as they will not be working in the primary elections. Kuletinye leti hamba embili nje some special voting results are out. Row over EBET ownership. Kuletinye hamba embili. Kuletinye hamba embili angry residents stop money demolitions.
Kanti ke kutemidlalo ku Times of Eswatini kungathi ke Mathemba sekashabalele ebholeni njengoba ke Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade Ngoba Khumalo has indicated ekutheni kutawuba bede i-Trade Fair Cup this year. The PLE had included the Trade Fair Cup among its tournaments for the 2023-2024 season. Kanti ke lokho sekuphumela fastelo ke ababencisa kakhulu. That's the leading headline ku Times of Eswatini. Kanti ke lenye lehamba embili Jaguar has 3-year contract, PSC told. This one speaks to Moneni Pirates want away players. Bonelo Jaguar Smelane has a running contract with the club. On another one, no government cars, uniforms for forces teams in games. Speaking on security forces teams that have been banned from using government vehicles while their officials cannot wear uniforms in Premier League of Eswatini. Kanzi-ke kule qhamuka from the international front, Mbappe can leave PSG if. To get the full story on that, uthola yona Eswatini Times of Eswatini.
As per Eswatini Observer, this Wednesday, throngs of voters came in their numbers during the special voting exercise. As Gema nominees were divided over special vote results, they questioned correctional voting and some kicked out after taking advantage of special voting. Kuletinye thamba embili Eswatini arrested for murder in Toronto. Kanti nasibukeletinye thamba embili ESA exports 26,505 tons of sugar to USA.
Kanzi-ke kutemidlalo ku-Eswatini Observer, it looks like it's still the prevailing story. Nangalana ka-Eswatini Observer, no trade fair cup this year. PLE failed to secure sponsor for tournament. Speaking on the trade fair, le taba khona exhibition, kutaba beteke ibola lonyaka kude trade fair cup. Loke ku-announce Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade, Manqoba Khumalo. Kanzi-ke lenye lehamba embili, bull at loggerheads with PLE over 100,000 Emalangeni. This one speaks to a standoff that speaks to capital city giants Mbabane Highlanders that have reportedly at loggerheads with the Premier League of Eswatini over last season's Momo Cup prize money. On another one, over 1 million lead for Nsingizini Hotspurs. She's certainly still doing a number there, leading all teams go Momo Cup voting. Those are the leading headlines. Kuma Sports Eswatini Observer.
Asibuka Eswatini Daily News lomhla kungolwesithathu nakhona bahamba indzaba lehamba embili lapha ekoneni, hundreds turn up for special voting in Manzini. Kulenye lehamba embili Likwane beneficiary fund is insolvent ngekusho ko-FSRA. Kanti-ke Mavuso tindzaba tase trade fair exhibition stalls fully occupied at trade fair.
Kutemidlalo, by now you should have guessed it. Good thing you hamba embili. No trade fair cup. Even this year, PLE attempts to secure a sponsorship for trade fair tournament hit a snag again this year. The tournament was last staged in 2013 and won by Royal Leopard. Kanzikelenye hamba embili, its milling director walks out. On another one, box eager for fierce World Cup warm up on rugby. Netoke tindzaba leti hamba embili emaphephandabeni nomhla ekuseni.
All right, it's 8 minutes after 6. Let's take a break as we are seeing tindzaba taswati.
Umsakazo wetithombe iEswatini TV utibophelele kuhlonipha nekulandzela umgomo wetekusakata loweluswe libandla letekuchumana eveni.
Ngephansi kwalomgomo sitimisele kusakata tindzaba letentiya ngaleso sikhatsi tindzaba letide emagama lacosheme letitsembekile letitsintsa tonke tinhlangothi naletisebaleni
kusukela kutepolitiki, tetemphilo, tekulima, tetinkantolo netemhlaba wonke jikelele. Siniletsela tindzaba njengoba tinjalo ngaleso sikhatsi letenteka ngaso.
Kanzi kulo msakato siphindze sikulethele lonke luhlobo lwetemidlalo kusuka emidlalweni welibhola letinyawo kuye emidlalweni ledlalelwa ematafuleni kanye naleto letiqhamuka ngaphandle kwakuleli.
Leti tindzaba lowutiletselwa ngumsakazo wetithombe iEswatini TV.
Well, 9 minutes after 6, atiphinze senemukele lesikhathi sitavuka tindzaba tethu teSiswati. Itiko letemabhizinisi nekutsengiselana lithi litawetfula masinyane umgomo walo wekuthi litasishicilela njani isivumelwano sekutsengiselana emkhatsini kwamave ase-Afrika i-Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. Ngekusho kwendvuna yalelitiko Manqoba Khumalo lomgomo sowuvele ukhona. Imvuna ivetelwe imemetela ngalokusemtsetfweni kucala kwembukiso walonyaka lotawucala mhla lulungi enyangeni letako, kanti-ke utawuvulwa ngalokusemtsetfweni ngemakhosi mhla titimbili enyangeni letako.
Sekaya ngasemaphethelweni emalungiselelo embukiso walonyaka iEswatini International Trade Fair. kanti njengoba induna temabhizinisi Manqoba Khumalo sewethulile lo msebenzi ebese induna iyachaza ngaleminye imisebenzi letabe iqhubeka lemcwa kakhulu ikakhulukazi ezindzabeni tetekusengiselana njengoba live leSwatini lisemgomeni wekutsengiselana nemava ase-Afrika nalamanye amave emhlaba.
Kutaba-ke nema-business seminars futhi lesiwalungisile kulo msebenzi and kungena khona kulama-business seminars futhi kutabe kumahhala atawuchubeka nje ngekuhlukahlukana kwawo kusukela mhla ka-4 September kuya kumhla ka-8 September atawukhavarisha-ke mhlawumbe tinhlangothi letimbalwa yokucala ukuthi naku sekunesivumelwano lesisha e-Afrika i-Africa Continental Free Trade Area livela kangwane nabosomabhizinisi batawuthengiselana kanjani nemave e-Afrika ngaphasi kwalesivumelwano. Sesifike esigabeni lapho sesitawucala ku-implementa khona le-AfCFTA silive strategy se-implementation sesikhona futhi-ke masinyane nje sidabe sesethula esiveni le seminar-ke itabe ikhulumisana lokho ukuthi singemaswati senza siqiniseko njani ukuthi siyakumaximize lokho. Kwesibili-ke sitawubuka indzaba ya-AGOA neku-exporta kuya America ukuthi emaswati latama kwenda lokhu aphumelele njani, lamanye lasengakaphumeleli angaphumelela njani.
Leminye-ke imihlangano lesinduna itabe yenteka kulo mbukiso ngumhlangano wendzaba tebamlabasha kutebhizinisi lapho batabe balandze bochwephesha lebatawusita insha yaseSwatini ukuthi isungula njani imisebenzi kute nayo itawuthuthuka njengoba laseSwatini njengalamanye amave emhlaba likhungetfwe kwesolakala kwemisebenzi kubamlabasha. Asike livela kangwane nanalo lingelinye lemave lelinesibalo lesisetulu sebantfu labasha. Etindzabeni teSwatini TV ngingilingithini Gule naSmuva Shongwe sikamanzini.
Ijiko letekulima lithi kulima ngekonga ngelinye indlela abalimi labangakhona kutfola ngayo sivuno lesihle noma simo selitulu sinjani. Umcondzisi wetekulima Nelson Mavuso uthi kusebenzisa tindlela tekulima letimelana negucuka kwesimo selitulu kutawubasita abalimi njengoba kungenteka timvula tingabi ngileto letinyenti lonyaka.
Umgomo wesine weluhlaka lweminyaka lelishumi wetekulima wenhlangano kamhlaba lebuketa indzaba tekudla netekulima i-Food and Agricultural Organization FAO uthi emava kasukumise tinhlelo letawutfutfukisa tekulima ikakhulukati ngoba emava abhekene nemitselela leyahlukene ekugucugucuka kwesimo selitulu. Umcondzisi wetekulima Nelson Mavuso uthi lenye indlela ecinisekisa ukuthi live liyachubeka likhicita kudla lokwanele balimi kumele basebentise kulima ngekonga.
So nge-conservation agriculture where kudingeka ukuthi umhlabathi umbathe ingubo le-permanent crop cover noma usebenzisa i-material imicuba u-plastic mulch plant material noma letinye tihlahla leti takwenta ukuthi kube direct contact with the soil yelilanga ema-sunrise.
Isikolo lesincane saseMotshane ngesinye isikolo lesisibonelo lapha eveni lesilima ngendlela ekulima lokumelana ekugucugucuka kwesimo selitulu nekulima ngekonga. Kanti thishela wetekulima kulesikolo athanda kuhle Mahluza uchaza ukuthi le ndlela yelena yekulima isisite kanganani lesikolo.
Indlela lesesilima ngayo nyalo require less inputs than ngalesikhathi sisasebenzisa sikhuluma because nyalo sesiye sigubhe ngesigodzi lasigodzini siyakwati ukuthi nasi sigubhe nje this year le line lelo na next year sibiyela kilo exactly. Sibe sihle kakhulu sivuno sangala ku climate smart agriculture because khona lokwendekako uyukhanza lokuthi noma lingekelana since sifaka kakhulu imulch sicoverisha everything kuvele nje only le plant ukhanza ukuthi lamandi ayacontaineka for sikhathi lesitse.
Kulokunye litiko letekulima lithi lisebenta tindlela tekuthi tekulima tibe melula kuwonke lapha eveni. Etindzabeni teSwatini TV kubika Samkelisiwe Khoza kunasikhumbuzo Dlamini naSmuva Shongwe eMbabane.
Lisekela lasihlalo elibandla lelikhetfo nemincele etinkhundla Sipotembe ufunga uyagomela ukuthi emalayini lamathe labonakele elikhethweni lolikhetsekile special voting angeke abe khona elikhethweni lesigaba sekucala ema-primary elections. Tembe uthi tinyenti timvo lelibandla lelifundzile kuleli khetfo lolikhetsekile lekutawenta ukuthi ilikhetfo lolutawuba ngempela somvo lihambe kahle kakhulu.
Kulandzela kubonakala kwemalayini lamadze labukeka kungathi ayatotoba elikhethweni lolukhethekile lisekela lasihlalo welibandla lolukhethwa kanye nemingceleti inkundla. Sipho Tembe uthi leli bandla selivele liyayilungisa lenkinga. Utawuchaza kabanti ngekuthi lihambe njani lolukhethwa lolukhethekile.
Abantu bakhona ngebunyenti babo besithi nathi silungisile. Kepha-ke kuphose kwathi nje kuphazamiseke ekuseni ngekubuka bukhulu besive. Kepha-ke i-team lekhona on the ground ikhonile ukuthi simanage leso simo. Kethu ngilokho ukuthi nase sifika kuma-primary election uthi chamukela wena ufake livoti lakho uhambe. Lenza bayemalayini ngiyakwethembisa ukuthi ngeke ibe khona lapho. Inkinga lokho ukuthi nasente ama-nomination funa sonke lesive sihlale la sibe khona. Kodwa-ke nase kuvotwa ucasta livoti uyahamba. Siyazama ukuthi imishina yethu nako konke kube in place. Nangabe imishina iteleka njalo silungisile option B, the manual aspect of it. So sinako lokho ukuthi ngeke kufanele njengak-nomination.
Lokunakekile sontweni le-Divine Healing Ministries lapho bekade kukhetha besifundza sakaManzini ukuthi kuphuthile kucala kukhetha njengalokhu kucala ngensimbi yemfica ekuseni. Kanti futhi kuphindze kwaba netinsolo ukuthi kunebantu labangekho elihlweni lalabo lekumele bavote kuleli khetho lolukhethekile i-special voting. Etindzabeni kubika Fortune Dlangamandla. Nginamuzi Mkhonta sisesontweni e-Divine Healing Ministries.
Sive saseshiselweni kanye naselibonjeni sesivotile elikhethweni lolukhethekile. Lesive sithi sitfokotile ngendlela lolukhethwa luhambe ngayo nanome kukhetha kungakaqali ngesikhathi lesibhekekile ngenxa yetinkinga temishina, kepha akukabi isikhathi lesise njengoba lokhu kusheshe kwasombululeka.
Sive saseshiselweni kanye naselibonjeni besigcwele sinyathelana eManzini Central High School kute ukhetha ngaphansi kwelikhetho lolukhethekile. Sikhulumisene nalabo lababuke lolikhetho kuletifundza kuva ukuthi luhambe kanjani.
Ukhetho eshiselweni luhambe kahle. Yebo kona i-region besiyithatha sayifaka kaManzini kodwa nje besonke siseshiselweni. Yebo kona kucalacaleke lethanyanyana ngoba sibe nawo ma-hiccups lapha nalapha but nje kube sesekuyalungiseka.
Kuhambe kahle kakhulu elubonjeni ku-special voting. Lengingasho ukuthi kusukela ekuseni emalayini abonakele kodwa-ke kubonakala kwawo siphindze sakhona nawo onke ama-officials lakhona on the ground kuwa-manager lawo malayini.
Sive lesivotile sivete imivo yaso.
Mina sengingenile sengivotile. Ngiyethemba naleli ngibakhethile batasiphatha kahle asakhele uhulumende wethu lomuhle.
Lengikukhandela ngekhathi ngibone ngathi khamba kahle kakhulu. Kude lokukabi netithombe tebahlonishwa bethu nenduna yethu yenkundla konke ku-clear nje kuyabonakala.
Kusavoteka sesengcono sisabuka umsebenzi mkhulu live liyathuthuka.
Siyabonga nje kakhulu iBC ukuthi asinike naleli thuba thina lesingeke sikhone uyovotela le etinkundleni tethu ukuthi sikhone ukuvota. Plus ke nala ngekhathi nasongena bakwendile kwabalula for thina because bakhonile ukuthi basibide ngale tinkundla tethu kahle ukuthi singakhoni nekuthi sesiyafucana lengekhathi.
Ngesikhathi sihlanganisa lo mbiko sive besachubeka nekuvota kwatise ukuthi besisiningi kakhulu kanzi bekusatawubalwa wona emavoti. Etindzabeni Eswatini TV kubika Nelisiwe Dlangamandla. Nginasmuva Shongwe kaManzini.
Inkantolo yemacala lendlulisiwe eSupreme Court ihlehlisele ngalesithathu licala lapho libandla lelikhetfo nemingceleti inkundla likanye nelihhovisi lengcweti yetemthetfo bafake isicelo sekuthi lenkantolo icithe isijubo senkantolo lenkulu lesithi libandla lifake lobekade ayimphunga mkhulu lidlamini eluhlweni lwabantu labatawukhethwa esigabeni semalunga ephalamende emphakathini kumaphilingo ngaphansi kwenkundla yasesiphofaneni.
Lesicelo besikhathi silalelwe libhentshi lenkantolo yekudlulisela emacala leligcwele i-full bench lihola lijaji Majahengaba Dlamini. Lenkantolo ikhala ngekuthi angeke ikhone kulelela lesicelo njengalokhu isijubo senkantolo lesakhishwa kulendzaba besikhathi singakabhalwa. Lamajaji akhala ngekuthi akade ukuthi lelicala lachube kanjani enkantolo lenkulu lokungesinye isizathu lesenta ukuthi lelicala lingakhoni ukuchubeka. Lijaji zonke Magagula lakhipha isijubo sekuthi libandla laka-EBC alibambe kabusha isigaba selikhetho labatawumelela lukhetho kumaphilingo emphakathi noma-ke bafake isithombe samkhulu Dlamini elihlweni lalabo labanqinyelwe kulo mphakathi ngephansi kwesigaba sebamalungu ephalamende. Baka-ABC lihhovisi lengcweti yetemthetho bafake isicelo enkantolo yemacala adlulisiwe lapho bacela ukuthi isicitho lesishubo senkantolo lenkulu ummeli Mzwandile Dlamini lomele loyo bekathi ayimbuka mkhulu Dlamini ukhala ngekuthi lokungadekwa kwaleli cala kuyamlimata mkhululi njengaloku ukhetho liyachubeka njengaloku bekade kukhethwa labo labakhethekile special voting. Uchubeke wathi buso balabo labanconywa emphakathi emaphilingo bebusolo bunamathisela imiphakathi lokwenta ukuthi sive sale sibathi kakhulu kunaye. Lo mmeli Mzwandile uchubeka watisa inkantolo ukuthi abafuni kumisa likhetho lelivi kakhulu kati lemphakathi wasemaphilongo kodwa kumcokwa kusi lenzaba itekwe iphele masinyane. Umbuso kulendzaba umelelwe ngummeli Bonkosi Dlamini anemmeli Mbuso Dlamini kanye nelisekela lengcweti yetemthetho umbuso Simelane kubheke ukuthi ngalesithathu Ntsambama ngensimbi yesibili liteko lelicala etindzabeni kubika Fortune Dlangamandla ngisenkantolo lenkulu.
Shukela welive leSwatini lothengiswa eveni leMelika sewuvele usendleleni ngekusho kwalobuke ehlangothi lotekuhamba enkampanini yashukela eSwatini Sugar Association isibusiso hlanze loshukela longetulu kwa 26,000 metric tons uyingcenye yashukela lothengiswa ngaphansi kwelihlelo lokuthengiselana nelive leMelika ngaphandle kwetincabekelwano iyagowa. Hlanze uthi leSwatini litawuzuza imali lenganga 750 US dollars lithani lilinye kulomfalo. Hlanze bekhuluma endzabeni yekugcina imithwalo yashukela yenkampani yeSwatini Sugar Association lesemaputo ngesikhathi wetindzaba bakuleli bayobuka kulayishwa kwalomfalo.
Betindzaba baseSwatini batfola litfuba lokuthi bavakashele indzawo legcina shukela lekuyindzawo ye-Sugar Terminal of Maputo lokuyindzawo live laseSwatini lelisebentisa nelive leMozambique, live leNingizimu Afrika kanye nelive laseZimbabwe. Sikhulumisene naSibusiso Hlanze wenhlangano i-Eswatini Sugar Association lavetile ukuthi lusuku loluyingqayizivele kakhulu njengoba lusuku lapho shukela waseSwatini atawulayishwa emkhumbini lotawuya eveni laseMelika ngephasi kwelihlelo lwa-AGOA lokulihlelo lokuthengiselana nelive leMelika ngaphandle kwetincabekelwano.
There's only one cargo le-US every year which you've got a reporter yakhona. You can't take that sugar and eat it direct, but it's still going to be processed. Lo sugar lo uma ufika either by rail or by road.
Hlanze uvetile ukuthi kwanyalo imakethe lengathi inkulu kakhulu ngiyo isakhu noma ke inhlangano yemave lacembelelana umthelo isakhu. Lo mkhumbi loya eveni leMelika kubhekeke ukuthi ulayishe shukela longu 26,000 metric tons. Luhlangothi lwashukela lucasha eMaswati langetulu kwa 16,000 kanti ke umnotfo welive uzuza kakhulu njengoba lokungenani lokungu 10% kufakwa ngilo hlangothi lwashukela emnothweni welive. Tindzabeni kubika Sondomlangeni ngisemaputo.
Bamvuba seshiselweni bakhuluma ngentuthuko labaphokophele kuyibona elethwa ngemalunga abayowakhetha etigabeni etihlukile kulomsebenzi welikhetfu ema-primary elections.
Ngoba sekusele imalanga lamathathu ukuthi live laseSwatini lingene esigabeni sekucala sekukhetha ema-primary elections. Sikhulumisana nebamvu labatawube bakhetha etinkundleni letahlukene taseshiselweni kuva ukuthi sebawulungele kanganani lo msebenzi nekuthi nguliphi lihlobo lebamvu labaphokophele kuyobakhetha.
Ngikulungele kakhulu lokho mfethu ikhetho lesiyaphuma nje. Ngiyakukhetha. Andike lo muntu asile kulesizwa lena lengekhetha iyasebenda kakhulu emangweni. Iyabuyisela kakhulu emangweni lesizwe. So kanti futhi sekunesikhathi ke isebenza.
Lo thutane le bengitshele yomkhetha lo ntaba uqopho bentsawo. Isikhathi investment ubamsa kubalisito kuba uyanaka indlela entuthuko. Nakubamvu ngiyazama ukuxoxisana nabo ukuthi yini lesingayenda lengasisi.
Base ngiyathi ukuthi ngiyokhetha abantu abanjani ngobani. Labantu engithi ngifuna kubakhetha mina abantu engibethemba ukuthi batasitha kakhulu ukuthi ngumphathi wasemashobeni enkundla yakugeka. Labantu engifuna ukukhetha mina ngisho ukuthi yena utasisitha kakhulu
lasithatha kakhulu ekutheni sibone kuba nemigwaqo emashobeni kakhulu nje nasemphakathini ebantwini labasha.
Tilikhulu nemashumi lamatsatfu nesiphohlongo tindzawo tekukhetsa letitawube tisebenta eshiselweni etinkundleni ngekwahlukana kwato. Lobikako etindzabeni te-Eswatini TV, nguthando kuhle Mdluli, ngisenhlangano.
Baphathi bemibutho etekuvikela babeyingcenye yesive lesivotile elikhethweni olukhethekile kaManzini. Bakhuluma eManzini Central bachazile nokuthi bavakashele letindzawo tekukhetha ngenhloso yeqinisekisa ukuthula njengoba lokhu kungumgomo wayo emibutho etekuvikela.
Baphathi bemibutho yetekuvikela batisukumele bona kuyawutibonela kwekuthi luhamba njani lukhetho lolukhethekile. Sicocisene nabo nasibatfola eManzini Central High School lapho bekuvota khona sifundza saseshiselweni kanye nesaselibonjeni.
Nami ngidovota nekutowubuka ke ngokuthi lo msebenzi uhamba kahle nohamba njani njengoba siqize live lekuthula
lekusijabulisa bekunene sive siphume ngetinkani kakhulu tonke tisebenti tahulumende tema forces tiphume ngetinkani titokhetha nalokuthi ke kuthulile kude nje umsindvo kuthulile tonke into ihamba kahle.
Sijabulile makasinika lithuba sinesebenta emsebentini la sikhanzo sisibabhizi ngemalanga onke wasasinika ilanga lamhla sitokhona ukuthi sikhethe sakhe live lethu kusukumise ngiko lo usitawukhetha awusengenti nami ngibuya kiseshiselweni emphakathi wasenhlejeni.
Baphathi bembutho yetekuvikela bathi batawuchubeka nekugcina kuthula kulo lonke likhetho kuleli. Etindzabeni te-Eswatini TV kubika Nelswendla ngamandla nginasimuva Shongwe kaManzini.
Tivakashi tengwenyama letigcinwe emnyango wokucondzisa timilo tikhombise injabulo lenkulu ngesikhathi nabo bavota ngalokukhethekile ngalesibili. Angetulo kwetinkulungwane emaswati lagcinwe kulomnyango labhalisele kuvota.
Umtsetfo lebuketa indzaba telikhetfo even wemnyaka wa 2018 Elections Act uhambisana netichibolo tawo uyaveta kutsi libandla letilukhetfo nemincele yetinkundla Elections and Boundaries Commission kumele lente tindlela tekucinisekisa kutsi bonke labafanele kuvota luyabanjwa likhetfo lolukhetsekile. Tivakashi tengonyama letigcinwe emnyango wokucondzisa timilo His Majesty's Correctional Services nato ngalesibili tikhombise injabulo tabeka luphawu kuwe manconyo labawobone kutsi angatfutfukisa imimango bahambisana nesicubulo selive lesithi ngentengasala nasakha live letfu bahambisana futhi nemgomo Mandela Rule longaphansi kwakhe emhlabuhlangene lothi akubete lobandlululeka kwetigabeni tentfutfuko nakuto temtsetfo. Lokuvota lokukhethekile kuchubekile kuto tonke tolishumi nakubili tindzawo leticondzisa timilo even kufaka ekhatsi iManzini Remand Center lapho kugcinwe khona labo labasengakagwetjwa nakhona esikolweni salomnyango lesigcina bafundzi ivula masango. Umtsetfo i-Correctional Services Act kanye nemtsetfo sisekelo welive ubagunyata bonke kutsi bangavota laba labagcinwe kulomnyango ngaphandle kwalabo labagwetjwe kudzilikelwa lijele. Etindzabeni te-Eswatini TV kubika Samkelisiwe Khoza kanti tifombe tichamka ehhovisini letekuchumana talomnyango.
Kutemidlalo luhlelo lokuvotela emacembu aka-Premier League kanye nalawo aka-National First Division ngaphansi kwendzebe yemomo yalonyaka luyachubeka lapho khona lamacembu lang-28 sekafike kumavoti langetulu kwa-57.7 million. Insingizini Hotspurs levikela lendzebe ihleti esicongweni ngemavoti langetulu ka-11.1 million.
Luhlelo lokuvotela emacembu aka-Premier League kanye nalawo aka-National First Division ngaphansi kwendzebe yemomo yalonyaka luyachubeka. Insingizini Hotspurs leyivikela lendzebe ihleti esicongweni ngemavoti langetulu kwa-11.1 million. Lapho khona ilandzelwa licembu leMonini Pirates lenilemavoti langetulu kwa-9.8 million. I-Pick Black Swallows leyahlala esicongweni isikhathi lesidze nakucala kuvotwa isendzaweni yesithathu. Emacembu lamakhulu lokuyimbabane Swallows isendzaweni yesihlanu ngemavoti langetulu kwa-6.4 million. Ilandzelwa yiManzini Wanderers leyisendzaweni yesithupha bese Imbabane Highlanders isendzaweni yesikhombisa. Nakaphelele lamacembu lang-28 aka-Premier League kanye ne-National First Division sekathole emavoti langetulu kwa-57.7 million. Lilanga lekugcina kuvotela emacembu kutawuba mhla ka-18 enyangeni letako, kanti emancamo alendzebe atawubanjwa mhla ka-30 kule nyanga letako. Umbiko uhlanganiswe nguFabrice Msonera kanti etindzabeni kubika sebenele mtsetfwa eMbabane.
Megameli wenhlangano ye-Dance Sports Association Sammy Msibi uthi lizinga lomdlalo likhomba kukhula sibili lapha eveni nome baphatamiswa ngumkhuhlane i-COVID-19 eminyakeni leyendlulile. Msibi abekhulumana kuchubeka umcimbi wabadlali balomdlalo lebobanjwe Checkers eMbabane.
Inhlangano ledlalisa umdlalo wekujayiva i-Eswatini Dance Sports Association ithi sive semaswati sikhomba kujabulela lo mdlalo futhi ke ngekuhamba kwesikhathi atawungeteka emacembu lafise kungenela lo mdlalo lapha eveni. Mengameli walenhlangano Sammy Msibi uma khuluma emcimbini lobe ubanjelwe eCheckers eMbabane kulemphela sonto lapho khona beungenelwe linyendi lebadlali labangenele lo mcimbi batimele uchazile ke ukuthi lizinga likhomba kukhula sibili.
We have had quite a number of activities trying to revive the sport. Zvakashele my teams, and the event, just like today, is a social dance of Gutsi. All the dancers coming from all over the country. Ahlanganela Mbabane, guto dancer neba dance basembabane, so that we can try to push the sport. But nje tinhlelo tefesinato nje kulamalanga is Gutsi. We are looking at Emma workshops ethu. Lapho khona sifuna kuqeqesha abo coach so that stokhona ku spread my wings.
Labo labe bangenele lo mcimbi bathi sikhona sidingo sekwekuthi lo mdlalo usekelwe ngalokuphelele lapha eveni.
It's something that I feel like I can't necessarily describe, and I feel like it's something that you have to experience for yourself. Dancing has changed my life all for the better. It's made me more confident and feel more beautiful.
Basically promotion. I think that's the only way we expose ngayo. That's the only thing I see fit to get more people. I just don't know a better way to put it.
It is fun. It's got all the elements of being a sport, like a sport. There's attributes like being a discipline, just like any other sport. So there's a lot that you learn from doing ballroom or the social dances here as a gentleman or a young lady otherwise.
Ngemuva kwekuthi ligciwane icorona libonakale liphazamisa lo mdlalo lapho khona lenhlangano ikhonile kungenela imidlalo yangaphandle kanye ke kule minyaka lemibili endlulile. Lenhlangano sayitimisele ukuthi kuqhutselwano kwalomdlalo kuchubeke kunyuke live liphindze lingenele imidlalo yangaphandle. Kubika Sifiso Nxumalo, umbiko ohlanganiswe nguFabrice Msonera, siseMbabane.
Ngayedwa imidlalo sidibamba lapho tindzaba tetfu tesiswati lomhla ekuseni singakhuluhlatsana nathi sithatha sekhefu nasibuya sichubeke nehlelo senishini simo selitulu.
International Trade Fair. Eswatini TV brings you a trade fair promotion and a double celebration package. 5-minute live interview on location for only 4,600 emalangeni. A live Kusile breakfast show interview on location for as low as 3,450 emalangeni. 30 seconds complimentary message for only 12,638 emalangeni 50 cents. 30 seconds commercial advert with a minimum of 20 slots, corporate for only 659 emalangeni 15 cents. Small medium enterprise for only 332 emalangeni 72 cents. Promotion ends on the 30th of September 2023.
Hello and welcome to Eswatini TV and to a brand new talk show called A Cuppa with Nomgebo. And I do what I have to do because I know where I'm going. All 5 of my mothers have inspired me.
So the addiction didn't happen then. It happened again another 8 years later. But that's where it started.
Choices I made at the time were not the best choices for myself.
I understand how a person can lose their mind in terms of life experiences.
That's what it looks like, and I like that. But you know what? The journey to my success is never a straight line.
Yeah, people are on the net now, and that's where we'd like to catch them with such shows.
All right, welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Sishilo-ke nasiqala hlelo ukuthi sitawukhulumisana nebaka Ministry of Economic Planning and Development laba sebenzisene nebaka Macroeconomic Analysis and Research Unit in producing the Economic Bulletin Volume 45, which is an economic bulletin that analyzes 2023 quarter 2, which is the period from April to June 2023. Kubuketa nje tindzaba tentfutfuko economically, covering a summary of international as well as domestic developments. We do have Nombuso on the line through a video link ka Zoom. Lotasichazela kabanti ngalomsebenzi lomqakhulu nakangaka. Nombuso, a very good morning. Welcome to the program. Ngabunjani namhla ekseni?
Siyavusela kakhulu Mngoni, siphilile ekseni. Siyalibonga naleli thuba lenisipha lona Eswatini TV. Just kubeka sithombe lesinaso kule kota lesicela complete in terms of economic developments. Lokuye kube yindlela ke yekusita ukuthi si understand ukuthi masaplanela kuchubekela phambili kufuna sibe sibuka into letinjengani. Thank you.
Ngiyafuna ukuthi sitibukele tinfo leto lotitsinzako, but I do understand just from what I read ukuthi you pay particular focus as well on international developments just as much as you pay particular focus on domestic highlights. Let's start on the international highlights and why it's important ekutheni siwabuke these global highlights, how they really affect our own economic development.
I think ubeka kahle. The international developments are crucial for our domestic economy, knowing that we are in an open economy, so we tend to rely kulawo developments as we sibuka the market kakhulu in terms of exports and phinze ku-importeka nje raw material that fit into our production industry, and also for consumption purposes it is crucial to monitor those developments. But just to share a peak view of what is shared in our report, in our 2023 quarter 2 report, indication it's as beside ukuthi besiku environment lebe lidwa kakhulu inflation due to lama developments labeka khona kule timpi which we term it geopolitical tensions. So lokwendekile as per international institution like ascended ama forecast athena kabuka first quarter abona ngazuthi there was somehow easing of pressure with some of the tinto lebesi city bona, which is the inflation. as such ema forecast labe sebawabeka for 2023 in particular kube nema upward revisions losho ku indicator ukuthi akusafanani njengoba besibukile ekuqaleni masisaqala umnyaka ngiyabekisa. So nangingabheka nje kakhulu lama letindzawo because kuye kublockwe ngalama regions kuma advanced economies lefaka ekhathi bo USA which are amongst the biggest economies kubonakele ngazuthi as much as lesimo besolo silukhuni but ke i-consumption ikhombise i-resilience kule period, people continuing to consume, which has boosted i-growth yabo. Hence kwa necessitate lokho ukuthi sekureviseka ngoba sesibona ngathi sekuba ngconywana, but ke le uncertainty remains ukuthi is this gonna last, because you know we are coming from ema shocks lahlukene kulama regions ethu, all the way from COVID, the global economy solo ayikase yabuya kahle esimene. So noma ngabe kungathiwa siya consumer sesidla kuma savings lese singakawabhafarishi kahle, lokusho ukuthi nakuphinza le shock nje itawukhanza vele leti kunesikhebe sikakhulu. So kungilapho ke la kubhidla le uncertainty. Ema economies lafana nabo China ke nawo anyway ema revisions abo. China, we know, is one of the global engine in terms of a leading economic activity. Bake baba nema challenges, but phinze nabo batshengisile kuvuka in some services sectors. Lokusho ukuthi kukhona la cishe kubangcono khona. But ema challenges abo I remain, which is what are being picked as a risk going forward. Ukuthi if China amkhulu kangaka angasademandi kakhulu, lokusho ukuthi kutawulimata iminotho leminingi kakhulu lawa leminotho le exportako, including leli lakangwane ngoba vele si heavy on exports because that's how we build our economy. So just in short, it looks like our first quarter was better than what was earlier anticipated, necessitating low 0.2 percentage point revision to global forecast, which now stand at 3.0% for 2023, against 3.5 that was seen in 2022. Lokusho ukuthi uyaslowisha a bit because of lama challenges lesiwabekako. And then gelama risk ikakhulu le yase China singa eda ngalena yema geopolitical tensions ukuthi as if they do remain or intensify than what we are seeing right now. Phela nyalo siyakubona ukuthi kusesebenzile but akude lakhomba ukuthi cha vele sesiyayiqedza lempi. So if we intensify, then it's likely to trigger newer shocks into our economies in the likes of supply chain disruptions. Ngingafuna kusondzela kancane na ku region ngemvumo yakho Mnguni ukuthi masibuka ke na regionally kwendekile ke nalama revisions ema economies ethu lamakhulu njengamakhelwane wethu lokungena angi trading partner nayo kube ne revision. Yes, that's South Africa. Ukube ne revision ku forecast yakhe ya 2023 nakhona babone a surprising first quarter output lesho ukuthi previously besibona simo siba lukhuni kakhulu, you know, they are faced with them structural challenges including the issue ye electricity crisis. So kube nalo kakhulu nje lama services sector Mnguni ngiwo la ngathi ayacisha ayayiphakamisa le minotho yethu ngoba nasitawubuka nasekhaya mase singena kuko ukuthi khona i-services sector yethu iyende njani kule kota lesiphume kuyo. Ngiyabonga Ngoni.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu Nkosi. Usakhuluma nje the sense of optimism with regards to lama geopolitical tensions kungathi seyange kwehla kakhulu, especially if we are paying particular focus on what's happening currently geopolitically. Kusiniketa a sense of skepticism now from optimism ekutheni what is really going to happen nyalo njengoba ushilo ukuthi kuke kwaba ngathi kuba ngcono, and that's thanks to some of the multilateral interventions, then the question that, begs this kind of scenario then becomes, what are we really anticipating? Just before we come back to the domestic front, should lama tensions aqhubeka intensify?
Yes, ngiyabonga kulelo hlangothi. Currently lokubukwako Mnguni utawukhumbula kwekuthi kunema agreements la setile a bit la sayinwe ngona lama factions la lwako nosho ukuthi Russia na Ukraine that touches on the mizila labayisebenzisa ko exporter, that is the Black Sea agreement. Lebe yithi sicela sithi sisalwa kodwa lokhu sekuvule khona kuto exporteka kakhulu usita ukhumbula lokuthi bona bakuleli hlangothi lolukhulu in terms of food global supply. Lokusho ukuthi nakuthinseka bona nje vele siba nema shortages in terms of food supplies in the region, or sorry, in the world. As such, bese ku-triggerisha lama inflationary pressures because sekunale high demand against supply leside yona. Lokusho kwekuthi-ke loku anticipatewa ukuthi as long as lama agreements are to an end without any newer thing being looked at, and also bakubeke etafuleni vele sisetaba nabo lobukhoni Mnguni shokuthi nje kungaba ngilokuthi lama interventions akaqhubeke, but at the same time lokutaba kuhle kakhulu ngokuthi bawasayine lama agreements lata alawa ukuthi economic activity iqhubeke, ngoba as long as kungakhona lokuqhubeka kwe-economic activity kwenta ukuthi kube nalama constraints in terms of supply in the likes of global commodities such as food nalo fuel nje kakhulu ngoba naye siyathi ukuthi iRussia ikakhulu lapho ku-energy. So those kind of things vele as kusolokude lesisombululo. To be honest, we will have those challenges unless siphume sesititshele ngekuthi-ke now, because lokunye lokusifundisile simaveli amanenge iminotho eminingi ukuthi ngiphi lenye alternatives esifuna siwasebenzise besides relying on just those few economies. But that is an investment that may not happen today. It will probably take us so ngingathi nje kafisha sibhenka kulawo ma agreements being put on the table so that kungaqhubeka economic activity.
All right. No, Kivakala Nkosi. And, I'm also thinking as you're speaking, Gutsi, just bring it back to what you had spoken about in South Africa, what they're currently going through in terms of Tinzaba, Dabokesi. Right now, BRICS Summit, siyakhumbula ukuthi i-BRICS Bank yabathembisa ukuthi ine-interest kakhulu ekubambiseni ekutheni bayilungise indzaba yabo ye-energy sector. So sithembele ukuthi they will come with a resolution kule BRICS Summit. Let's come back home on the domestic front. La Kangwane, our economic trajectory, how are we looking? How have we been affected by all the things that you've just highlighted from the global front?
I'm going. Domestically, I think I've indicated that our economy is an open economy, so we get to be exposed to some of these external shocks. From a fundamental perspective, in the first quarter, in the second quarter, sorry, we noted Logogutsi, we were still in a highly inflationary environment as an economy. I think a report here clear indicator in terms of a consumer price or inflation, based average of 5.7. We are coming from 5.5. Masqathanisa neminyaka same time kulo mnyaka lophelile. Uyabona lo mehlo othi vele sisetudlwana kulesikhathi sanyana. Yebo kona setiyaqala tinkhomba ukukhombisa kungathi sekuya moderator as food prices aqala kuba ngconywana. Lokusho ukuthi going forward ngenteka sibone sithombe lesicishe siba ngcono. Having said that, we have to respond as an economy to the inflationary environment. Hence, siyibonile Central Bank idlala irole yalo lokusho ukuthi i-ensure ukuthi kuqhubeka kuba ne-price stability in the economy. As such, interest rate ke abe akhuphukile as ku-implementwa le tightening monetary policy. Lokusho ukuthi those were the main fundamentals that were really prevailing kule kota lesisuka kuyo. Kubukeke njani ke nasekuthinta umnotho? Umnotho tinombolo tethu te-first quarter ngoba currently lesinato data quarter 1 2023 tikhombise ukuthi yebo kona nasibuka sicathanisa nekota lephelile lokusho ukuthi ngi-2022 quarter 4 sikhula kancane kodwa we are still on a positive trajectory. Lokusho ukuthi kukhona loku positive lokuphumile. Masibuka ke lama sectors ethu nala ekhaya sibonile ukuthi le services sector ngiyona lecishe ya poster ema growth la be positive in the period, the likes of the ICT sector, the likes of the financial sector and the wholesale retail. Those were some of the sectors that actually boosted economic growth in the first quarter of 2023. Ngeke ke sikulibale kusho lokuthi ema sectors lamanye futhi lamqoka in the economy wona akhombise kusafarisha a bit, the likes of the manufacturing sector, which I think I indicated lokuthi very linked to the external demand or the global demand. Lokusho ukuthi because of lama challenges ibese iba constraint ngaleyo ndlela. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nkosi. That's Nombuso Dlamini, economist with the Ministry of Economic Planning and Development, just giving us highlights of our second quarter in terms of economic development, starting from the global front into the domestic front. Of course, giving, acknowledgement to Yona, Central Bank of Eswatini, that has done a good job in regulating, rather tightening monetary policy statements, as well as some of the key sectors that have been fundamental in sustaining our economy, ICT sector, wholesale and retail, finance and insurance. So we'll that comprehensive overview from Yena Nombuso Umlangana Swatlet Magete, Masinyane Stabuya Skube Nehlelo.
Do you remember the spinning thing? This is us. This picture represents what we did. We were there when coronavirus wreaked havoc in our population. Together with other stakeholders, we formed the first line, controlling the spread of the unknown and unseen enemy of the people. Anxious ourselves, we collected dead bodies countrywide. At the time when no one wanted to come near dead bodies of loved ones, we did care for our fellow citizens. Thank you, the people of Eswatini and teams of first responders.
All right, 7 minutes before 7. Let's take a look at our traffic update now with Constable Ndombenhle Fakutsemdolo. Sikuvusele lomuhla ekseni kungilesithathu nje sikanjani simo emigwaqweni sinombiko losiphathele wona.
Ngikuvusele Ncumalo, ngivusele naye umbukeli wekusile breakfast show. Imigwaqo elivela kaNgwane sesihlolile, imigwaqo iyahambeka, kepha ke seticalile timotolo kanye nabo labahamba ngetinyawo khona emgwaqweni linani labo ukuthi liphakame. Sithi nje sisasebenzisa wona umgwaqo, asende siciniseko ukuthi timphawu letibekiwe siyadilandzela ngaso sonke isikhathi kuze ukuthi siphephe sisawusebenzisa umgwaqo. Emadolobha elivela kaNgwane ahloliwe, tibane temgwaqo kuwo onke lamadolobha tiyasebenza tonke ngalokufanele, nemigwaqo lengenela kuwo iyahambeka kude lokungakanani lokusikhinyabeto. Sitaladile sisuka khona edolobheni eMbabane siye khona eSport lesithi Somhlolo Road, si lapha eceleni kwaseChris Queen's Gate. Kunema-speed humps lapho lekathanza kwakhiwa lekangadwetshwa lekwenta ukuthi umshayeli angakhone kuwabona asesekhashane nje asilinciphise litubane nasisasebenzisa leyo mgwaqo. Kanti-ke nawo sositaladi lesingibovane road lesuka khona eSt Marks siye khona eSonfene Nazarene nakhona lapha eceleni kwaSt Marks High School kulamawukela nje-ke nakhona lapho kunema-speed humps nawo akakadwetshwa. Umgwaqo losuka eNgoyoyo uye kaManzini uhloliwe losuka eNgwenya uye kaManzini uhloliwe nawo. Lapha eNgoyoyo ungafiki nje kule libloho letinyawo lebantu betinyawo kuneloli lefele khona kumvila longasenqele nawuta khona eMbabane. Nje bashayeli abende isiqiniseko ukuthi banakisisa timpawu letibekiwe lapho kuze ukuthi baphephe. Edolobheni kaManzini sihlolile nakhona sitaladi lesuka khona eBosco siyawufika lapha traffic circle leso sitaladi leso selosivaliwe kulandzela kona ukuthi siyakhiwa. Ishiselo ihloliwe umgwaqo losuka kaMjuda uye eCasino solo uvaliwe kulandzela kona ukuthi kuyakhiwa nakhona lapho nje bashayeli abachubeke basebenzise letinye indlela tekungena edolobheni kuze ukuthi bangene ngekuphepha. Lomunye umgwaqo lesiuhlolile khona eshiselweni umgwaqo losuka khona enhlangano uye khona Gege lesikunakile lo mgwaqo unetinfuli letinengi kakhulu kulamalanga nje bashayeli abende isiqiniseko ukuthi bayawakhanyisa emalambu lamakhulu basawusebenzisa lo mgwaqo nekwekuthi-ke balandzelane ngetigaba letifanele noma-ke sebaphambana nato leto timotolo letakha umgwaqo abende isiqiniseko ukuthi kuyakhanya kuqala kwathi sephela ukuthi lithuli naseluphakeme kakhulu kube kuba nebumadima ukuthi timotolo tibonane khona lapho. Ngale kwaloko Mnguni naye umbukeli imigwaqo elivela kaNgwane iyahambeka ngaphandle nje kwaleti esengishito tisikabedo ngaba kufisela yena umbukeli kusuku loluhle naloluphephile basetawusebenzisa yona imigwaqo elivela kaNgwane.
Loluhle ngisabuka yona imigwaqo elivela kaNgwane sibahlola emakethe masinyane sitawubuya sichubeke nehlelo.
Libandla letela ukhefo nemingcele iEBC latisa sive seMaswati ukuthi mhla ka26 Ingci 2023 lilanga lelibekelwe sigaba selukhetfo lekuqala. Kuleti gaba sive sitabe sikhetha labaqhutselana kuba indvuna yenkundla noma kuba lilunga lephalamende emiphakatsini yabo. Tikhungo tekuvula titawuvulwa ngensimbi yesikhombisa kutsi made kube insimbi yesikhombisa Ntsambama. Sive siyacelwa ukuthi sikhumbule kuphatha bomatisi baso siphinde sigcine nesikhathi.
Livoti lami libalulekile futhi alithengiswa. Ngede ngasala nasakha live letfu.
Siyabonga umsakathi kuthwala lithuba. Cha, sivise Maswati siphumile ngetinkani. Kulomnyaka we-2023 sibabonile inombolo yenyuka impela sibili yenyukile before kuvalwe. Bantu ke bafundisekile umsakathi ukuthi abaphume bayoncoma bavote ngoba uhulumende ngewabo. Intuthuko ibuya kubo. Yonke intuthuko lenteke emangweni ayisuqhamuka mhlambe kule inzawo ayiqhamuke ngetifiso tethu ukuthi besifise kube nanaku umsakathi kuloko.
Engabe Mnguni kulesikhathi lesi ungakhuthata uthini kuso sive seMaswati uyukhanze ukuthi siyabhalisa ngelizinga lesetulo nakufanele siyawuvota sive sisalele emuva Mnguni.
Sive kusalela kwasomva ukuthi ingoni letinengi kungaba mhlawumbe kukhinyabeteka kwebantu ukuthi lona ukhubatekile ngandlela thite akakhona ukuhamba la kunyukela khona imbukwela umfula noma nje kube njani ngiko lesithi nako lokho kule ntuthuko lesithi asibavotela kona mhlambe bahambe bakufake ukuthi umuntu lokhubatekile usicela naye cabangele kasisho ukuthi abacabangele kodwa nje lizinga liphakaphakama kubonakala ukuthi nabo bangeMaswati bayingcenye yethu eParliament nakhona besinxusa lokuthi mhlawumbe nasetinkundleni ukuthi labo labakhubatekile bamane babe khona imivo yabo itovakaleka kakhulu kulabo mhlawumbe labanye labakhubatekile emangweni kunemisumbe kunabo labo nje tibonza temango ngibo lekufanele ukuthi phecelezi ba-identify bantu benzawo ngoba umuntu nje lofika kwencewe yadengcela ngiyabekisa uteleti injongo takhe lapha kubetelwa bekunene kutoholwa kutelwe kutodevelopa ummango ngicabanga ukuthi lokho abakwekhute labafanele ikakhulu lababuka imimango naleyo misumbe konke nje netimfuno.
Siyabonga mkhulu.
Siyabonga kakhulu.
Right, welcome back. Let's take a look at our news. The Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade will soon unveil Eswatini's strategy on how the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement will be implemented. This was announced by the Minister for Commerce, Mangoba Khumalo, when announcing the official opening of the 2023 Eswatini International Trade Fair.
Preparations for the 2023 Eswatini International Trade Fair are at an advanced stage. Exhibitors are busy with their final preparations in their different stalls. Now that the Minister for Commerce, Mangoba Khumalo, has officially announced the 2023 Eswatini International Trade Fair, the Minister unpacks some of the functions and business seminars that will be taking place in this year's trade fair.
We will also be having a few business seminars starting on the 4th of September all the way till the 8th of September. These seminars will cover trading for the AFCFTA, will cover trading and exporting under AGOA to the US of A, and will also speak to creating youth entrepreneurship and youth business in Eswatini. We are also excited that there will be a Win a Car competition. This Win a Car competition has been sponsored by Westbank as well as Kia Motors, and they've collaborated with IPA to make this general sponsorship. For grabs, we have an SUV, a Kia Sonet, which is a high-end SUV that the lucky winner on the day will walk away with.
Another important seminar is going to be the youth seminar. The Minister says they'll be having experts who will be capacitating young people in Eswatini on how to start their own businesses. Eswatini is faced with a huge challenge of youth unemployment, just like the rest of the world. For Eswatini TV News, I am Lincoln Gule and Smuva Shongwe in Manzini.
The Director of Agriculture under the ministry, Nelson Mavuso, says conservation agriculture is one of the climate-smart agriculture approaches that can ensure food security despite the impacts of climate change. The director encouraged farmers to practice climate-smart agriculture.
The Food and Agricultural Organization Strategic Framework for 2022 to 2031 calls for better production, better nutrition, a better environment and a better life for all, leaving no one behind, despite the effect of climate change. The Director of Agriculture, Nelson Mavuso, advised farmers on the climate-smart agriculture approaches.
We encourage farmers to use irrigation. In terms of agriculture, of irrigation, it should be irrigation that uses less water, does not waste water when you apply it. In terms of mechanization, in terms of land preparation, one of the methods that is advocated for by the ministry is the use of minimum tillage as a method to mitigate the effects that come about as a result of the high temperatures that we're experiencing this period of the year. One of which is that during the period of December, there's usually less rainfall, which is actually associated with high temperatures that result in evapotranspiration as a major factor. So the plant, instead of being able to use the water for its physiological development,
Mochane Primary School practiced climate-smart agriculture, including conservation agriculture, whereas the school agriculture teacher, Tandokuhle Mahluza, echoed the benefits of conservation agriculture.
Sibe sihle kakhulu sivuno sangala ku climate smart agriculture because khona lokwendekako uyukhanzela ukuthi noma lingekelana since sifaka kakhulu imulch sicoverisha everything kuvele nje only le plant ukhanza ukuthi lamandi aya containeka for isikhathi lesithe.
On another note, the Minister of Agriculture is working on the automation of agriculture in Eswatini. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samkatsuyo Kosa with Simuva Shongwe and Sikumbuzo Dlamini. Babane.
The Elections and Boundaries Commission Deputy Chairperson Sipho Tembe has vowed that the long queues seen during the special voting will not be an issue during the coming primary elections. Tembe says most of the issues that arose during the special voting will have been addressed this weekend during primary elections.
There were long queues seen during the special voting and were seemingly moving at a snail pace. The Deputy Chairperson of the Elections and Boundaries Commission, Reverend Sipho Tembe, says the issue of the long queues will not be seen during the primary elections.
Bantu bakhona ngebunyendi babo besithi nathi silungisile kepha ke kuphose kwathi nje kuphadamiseke ekseni ngekubuka bukhulu besive kepha ke i-team lekhona on the ground ikhonile ukuthi simanage leso simo.
He adds that there were some glitches caused by the fact that Eswatini came out in their numbers to cast their votes. He further mentions that systems are all set for the primary elections, adding that the queues that were also seen during the nominations will not occur this coming weekend. What was noted during the special voting at the Divine Healing Ministries, where Manzini region voters voted, is that the election started around 9 a.m. and that there were unverified reports that some individuals who came to vote were not under the category of those who were supposed to vote on Tuesday during the special voting. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla with Muzimkonda Divine Healing Ministries.
Different sectors of society who were part of the special voting exercise said they were happy with how it was conducted. Members of the different cadres in society say the only problem was the delay in the commencement of the voting process. As they were told, there was a network problem. However, the matter was quickly resolved.
We spoke to Buhle Magongo, who is the elections officer in the Shiselweni region, who said despite having network challenges in the morning, the voting process went well. Siboniso Nhleko, the elections officer in the Lubombo region, also shared that they were able to conduct the voting as expected with minimal challenges.
Yebo kona iregion besithatha sayifaka kaManzini kodwa nje besonke siseshiselweni yebo kona kuqalaqaleke lethanyanyana ngoba sibe nawo ma hiccups lapha nalapha but nje kube sesekuyalungiseka
kuhambe kahle kakhulu elubonjeni ku special voting lengingasho ukuthi kusukela ekseni emalayini abonakele kodwa ke kubonakala kwawo siphindze sakhona nawo onke ama officials la khona on the ground manager lawo malayini.
Members of the public came out to vote and they said they are hoping that those they elected would represent them well.
Mina sengingenile sengivotile ngiyethemba naleli ngibakhethile batasiphatha kahle asakhele uhulumende wethu lomuhle.
Lengukhandela ngekhathi ngibone ngathi khamba kahle kakhulu. Kude lokukabi netithombe tebahlonishwa bethu nenduna yethu yenkundla konke ku-clear nje kuyabonakala.
Sekusavoteka sesengcono sisabuka umsebenzi mkhulu level yathuthuka.
Siyabonga nje kakhulu iBC ukuthi asinike naleli thuba thina lesingeke sikhone uyovotela le etinkundleni tethu ukuthi sikhone ukuvota. Plus ke nalangekhathi nasongena bakwendile kwabalula for thina because bakhonile ukuthi basibide ngale tinkundla tethu kahle ukuthi singakhoni nekuthi sesiyafucana lengekhathi.
At the time of compiling this report, the elections were still ongoing and counting of votes was yet to be done. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Dlangamandla, Smuva Shongwe, Manzini.
The Supreme Court will today look at the matter where the Elections and Boundaries Commission and the Office of the Attorney General wanted to set aside a judgment issued by the High Court, where, amongst other things, the court ruled that ex-Senator Mkhululi Dlamini's name should be among those nominated for Member of Parliament under Mapilingo chiefdom.
The application was before a full bench, The application was before the full bench led by Judge Machahengaba Dlamini. The Supreme Court said it could not proceed with the matter as the judgment by the High Court, Judge Zonke Makakula, was not available. The court said it had no record of how the matter proceeded at the High Court. The High Court issued a ruling that the Elections and Boundaries Commission should hold a special nomination process at Mapilingo Mphakathi to determine the nomination of outgoing Senator Mkhululi Dlamini or include his name in the list of nominees of Member of Parliament for the same Mphakathi. EPC had gone to the court to seek an order that this ruling should be set aside. The former senator, represented by his lawyer, Mzwandile Dlamini, the legal representative, mentioned that his client was being prejudiced by the non-finalization of the case. He said this is because his client's name has not been included in the ballot paper, and others had their faces viewed by the electorate as the posters with their faces were pinned in their chiefdom. The lawyer further mentioned that his client has not been given a chance to be voted for during the special voting, which was held today. The lawyer told the court that they had no intention to stop elections under Mapilingo chiefdom, so it is important that the case is finalized as soon as possible. The Crown is represented by Bonkosi Dlamini Mbuso Dlamini, as well as Deputy Attorney General Mbuso Simelane. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, High Court.
The Kingdom of Eswatini's raw sugar for the United States of America's market has been transported to the United States of America under the African Growth Opportunity Act, AGOA. According to the Eswatini Sugar Association's logistic manager, Sibusiso Hlanze, the 26,000 metric tons of sugar is the Kingdom's market quota for the year 2023. Hlanze says the return for the raw sugar is 750 United States dollars per ton. Hlanze was speaking at the sugar terminal of Maputo during the loading exercise of the cargo ship transporting the sugar to the U.S. market. Our reporter Sondom Langeni has a report.
The tour then proceeded to the sugar terminal of Maputo, where it is a space where the Kingdom of Eswatini is actually sharing the space with the Republic of South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Mozambique. This is basically a facility where the Kingdom of Eswatini store the raw sugar, which is then transported to the United States of America via the AGOA market. Well, reporters had the chance to be taken through the different processes from when the raw sugar gets to Maputo until it is loaded to the ship that is going straight to the United States of America. We spoke to Sibusiso Hlanze from the Eswatini Sugar Association, who stated that the raw sugar from Eswatini is actually transported via the rail and road.
There's only one cargo layer US every year, which you've got a reporter.
They explained that SACU is actually the biggest market for Eswatini sugar. Sugar industry in Eswatini employs 16,000 people and contributes 10% of the gross domestic product. Eswatini TV News, Sondom Langeni, Maputo.
Security chiefs were part of the special voting exercise which took place in Manzini on Tuesday. Speaking at the Manzini Central High School during the voting exercise, the security chiefs say they visited the voting stations because they wanted to vote and further ensure peace and security.
Security chiefs say their mandate is to ensure smooth elections that are free from any violent acts. Apart from casting their vote, the security chiefs said they had to personally visit the voting stations in Manzini to get first-hand information on how the special voting was going.
Lekusijabulisa bekunene sive siphume ngetinkani kakhulu tonke tisebenti tahulumende tema forces tiphume tinkhani titokhetsa nalokuthi ke kuthulile kude nje umsindvo kuthulile tonke into ihamba kahle.
Sijabulile makasinika lithuba thina sisebenta emsebentini la sikhanze sisibabhizi ngemalanga onke wasasinika ilanga lamhla sitokhona ukuthi sikhethe sakhe live lethu kusukumise ngiko lo sitawukhetha awusengentini nami ngibuya kiseshiselweni emphakathi wasenhlejeni.
They expressed their appreciation over the manner in which the voting process has been conducted. They further said they will ensure peace and security throughout the election processes. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Dlangamandla, Smova Shongwe, Manzini.
Inmates under His Majesty's Correctional Services showed excitement on Tuesday as they took part in the 2023 general elections through the special voting exercise. There are over 1,000 inmates who registered to vote.
The Elections Act of 2013, with its amendments, states that the Elections and Boundaries Commission, EBC, is permitted to hold special votings for those who are eligible to vote. On Tuesday, eligible inmates at His Majesty's Correctional Services showed excitement, queued to cast their votes, echoing the 2023 general elections slogan saying, "Ngetengasala nasakhalive letfu." The United Nations Mandela Rule also emphasized on inclusive development, not forgetting elections participation for all. The special voting process was conducted in all the 12 correctional facilities of the country, including the Manzini Remand Center and the Vulamasango School. The Elections and Boundaries Commission, EBC, says over 1,200 inmates registered to vote, whereas His Majesty's Correctional Services says there are 3,800 inmates and 516 children at Vulamasango School. The Correctional Services Act, with the country's constitution, says all inmates are eligible to vote except for those who are serving life sentences. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samkel Suekoza with visuals from His Majesty's Correctional Services.
And now let's take a look at our international news. Dozens of hospital patients, including newborn babies, were evacuated onto a ferry in the Greek port city of the Alexandroupolis on Tuesday as a wildfire raged uncontrolled for a fourth day and two new blazes broke out near Athens, the fire brigade said. Hundreds of firefighters have been struggling to contain the blaze that broke out near Alexandroupolis on Saturday and quickly spread, fanned by gale force winds, sending plumes of smoke above the city and turning the night sky red.
A rush under red skies to evacuate patients, many elderly, from hospital, transported by ferry from the Greek port city of Alexandroupolis as the flames approached.
There was an emergency evacuation plan. First, the intubated premature babies left. We prioritized the most serious cases. I've been working for 27 years. I've never seen anything like this. It's like war conditions, really. Stretchers everywhere, patients here, IV drips there.
Fanned by strong winds, the fires continue to spread in the Evros region, close to the border with Turkey. These residents were evacuated from their village. Some have lost everything.
It has reached the entire village. Our house up there, where the fire started, is completely burned down.
Many helicopters came, many planes. They tried, we can't say otherwise. But it wasn't enough.
Authorities have called on farmers to dig trenches to help slow the flames. Dozens of fires have broken out across the country, on the island of Evia, in Kavala, and in Aspropyrgos, just 20 kilometers from the capital. Authorities have banned public access to mountains and forests in several regions, ordering military patrols. Reinforcements have begun to arrive from Europe, with firefighters from Romania and France joining local teams.
And in our sports roundup, we begin with more voting updates as now the 28 teams of the Premier League and National First Division respectively have accumulated over 57.7 million votes, with closing date less than a month away. Defending champions Eswatini Hotspurs are leading the way with over 11 million votes so far. Here's a report.
We begin our sports roundup with the Momo voting system that has hit over 57.7 million votes from all the 28 teams under the Premier League and the National First Division respectively. The defending champions Eswatini Hotspurs are leading the race with over 11 million votes, followed by Monane Pirates. The big three, being Mbabane Swallows, are 5th, followed by Manzini Wanderers, who are 6th, while Mbabane Highlanders are 7th. The deadline of voting will be on the 18th of September, with the finals being played on the 30th the same month. Moving on to dance sport, the association is confident that indeed the sport will soon get its full attention despite the COVID-19 disturbance in the recent years. The association's president, Semi Msibi, speaking during a social event that gathered different dancers in the country at Checkers in Babani. Msibi says it was high time the sport regained momentum by hosting tournaments regularly.
We have had quite a number of activities trying to revive the sport, Zvagashele teams, and the event just like today is a social dance of Gutsi. All the dancers coming from all over the country, Atlanganela Mbabane, Guto dancer Neba dance Mbabane, so that we can try to push the sport. But we are looking at Emma workshops etu. Coach so that spread the wings.
And in our international news, Shakari Richardson is the champions of the 100 meters of the World Athletic Championships in Hungary under the women's category. The games that are being held in Budapest after just using 10.6 seconds to win a gold medal, with Jamaican Sharika Jackson becoming second to win a silver medal. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, Mbabane.
That's the end of our news this morning. Let's take a quick ad break. We return with Eswatini Meat Industries.
We at Eswatini Television Authority are committed to observing the Eswatini Communication Commission's Broadcasting Code of Conduct.
Under the code, we are committed to broadcast news that is current, free from hate speech, accurate, balanced, and fair.
From politics to business, health, agriculture, courts, and global news, we bring you the latest updates as they happen, when they happen.
We cover all the sporting codes from the football pitch to the chessboards.
This is Eswatini TV News.
Minutes after 7, kwelo muhla siphinze sikwamukela ehlelweni isishilo ke nasicala ihlelo ukuthi sitawuba nabo baka Eswatini Meat Industries. We do have quality supervisor Sandile Dlamini, who's with me on the show Nyalo in studio. Nkosi sikuvumisele sikwamukela ehlelweni kunjani vele?
Siyaphila ngabavusela lababukele ihlelo.
Ngosi ngijabula kakhulu nabathi sitawukhulumisa indaba yenyama. Ngiyathemba ukuthi Carlo angishela kona ngihambe ngiyokubeka tikwesef sibuke nje lunch. Nasikhuluma ngeSwatini Meat Industries. Nangiva abantu bakhuluma la ngephandle kuningi labakhulumako. I think nje asiyazi ukuthi iqale nini yabani. Nongasipha nje background ngeSwatini Meat Industries.
Eswatini Meat Industry been 11 shareholders before since 1988 inzala ke chama boss munye but we been lo shareholders la ndawuthi bebana 11 then nyalo recently ithethwe nginyathi holding at 100%. So
100%.
Yeah, Nyathi holding. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What makes Eswatini Meat Industries different from other meat companies? Other meat processing companies in Eswatini? Ngoba ngathi akhonyana vele.
Yes. Umehluko lomkhulu lokuthi number 1 Eswatini Meat Industries ngiyo le only EU approved abatho lingakhona kuthengisa inyama ya EU. So inayithengisa ka EU kusho ukuthi ke kunema standards noma kunema regulations noma ke imithetho lokhona kuthengisa ngayo ka EU le very strict. Bese kuthi on top of that kune standard lesisebenzisako lesishuzwa amavela amaningi 22,000 countries kuthiwa BRC. Yeah, it's a food safety standard.
Okay.
A very strict standard les auditwa njalo ngeminyaka. And if you don't comply we cannot sell kula mavela azwami ekuthengisa khona nakulo lo mehluko. Bese ke lo mehluko la ufize kube suyangena kulokuthi lama standards lawo pheze siwasebenzisa sesenda nalenyama esithengisa la kangwane. Lokwenda ke kube very strict ibe iningi kakhulu. Ngidawubekisa nje lo mehluko lomkhulu lo tawukhanze mbiveni ukuthi nasiqasha sitawuvele sihlole. Ukuthi nasongene sihlole ukuthi uphilile yini kude intifo lo ngasilethi ngathela lo mkhicito noma sithelena nathi. Sikufunzisa nasiqedza ukufunzisa letinye ifundiso takhona tithi angeke ukuthi inyama sembiveni agesi every day and that must be monitored. I-uniform siwashwa ngemalanga.
Okay.
Onke lamalanga uyashintsha. So uyatibona into lethu tehlukile singene ngekhathi singathi insipho asithengi noma insipho kubani sithenga insipho from lapho khona nabo ba certified. Even libhokisi konke nje sikuthenga kune plastic. So high kakhulu ama standards such that ukuthi vele inyama sembiveni singasho ukuthi ungayithengisa everywhere in the world. Noma ngabe first world uyakhona ukuyithengisa inyama lesuku embiveni nawo ngomehluko lokufika ube khona. Nekuthi ke njengoba ngikhuluma nga quality size sibe ne laboratory. Lapho na onke lamalanga siyahlola ukuthi emantethu akahle anze sibe 70. Tandla bathi lentandla abantu and phinze sithathe ama swabs check e laboratory. Siphinze ke futhi nase kohlatshwa yona lenkomo kube na dokotela lo checka ko lenkomo ingakahlatshwa ukuthi iphilile yini. Phinze kube nabo meat inspectors la line la phinze ba check ukuthi yona vele nyama ibenti lekuthiwa antimortem ba check ukuthi phinze vele iphilile yini. Kunetifo letike phinze litholakala along the line like bo TB.
Yeah.
Yes, kwanze ukuthi lenye inkomo ine TB siyashisa sishisa yonke lenyama le. Then you can imagine if ke uthenga lapho khona ukhanza ukuthi akwendeki la lokukhume ngako konke lokho your life is at risk. Sibeke embili impilo yebantu embiveni naku lesihluke ngayo nekuthi kulisiko lethu vele kuphila lempilo yekuthi i-food safety and quality ngasho kanjalo kuhlandeka nekubeka sure ukuthi impilo yebantu sibeke embili in terms of letinyama.
Ngiyabona nje ukuthi na uthinzana lenzaba yalama standards lo so washo sike sabona indvuna ya commerce industry and trade manqoba khumalo sibe nabo mnisi labaqhamuka ka APA. Inzaba yama standards bayibeka embili kakhulu ukuthi a lot of our companies are still struggling to at least comply with some of the international standards. Kanti lokho ke kuyasitha ekutheni sikhona nathi ukuthi sikhona ukuchuthelana nalamanye ema markets la khona just outside of Eswatini because we do want to be an export driven economy. So ngiyibona lapho ukuthi live la ngwane nalo lifike lizuze, but on this end yaka quality ukuthi niyayibeka impilo ye consumer yenu embili. Is it also for protecting the reputation of the company as well? Ngoba ngiyabona ukuthi I think nje uvele waphendula umbuto wami lo mnye ngisengawubuthi inzaba yama steep prices now since inzaba ukuthi nihlengishisa inkomo letigulako. My second question then becomes we've noticed that your prices are relatively steeper than your competitors. How do you justify that?
Ngicabanga ukuthi njengoba bengiveta lokuthi nangibala lengobalile.
Yeah.
Siye mathine siyafundisana. Kunenkomo esilahlako. Kune uniform lesiwasho onke lamalanga. On top of the standard lengikhuma ngaso. Le standards lesi there's a lot of paperwork involved. Phinze ke futhi kunalama imasambule lengiwathatha onke lamalanga nangihlaba aya eSouth Africa laboratory. Le sample per week close to 10,000 lengibhadala kuhlwayo lenyama anzobe isebenze.
Le sample leyo ibuya emva isikhathi esingakanani? Does that mean le nyama leyo lo mix sample yayo le ngeke uyithengise kithi ingabuyi sample?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, kufuna siye quarantine. Kubiye lemphumela sibonele ukuthi kahle yini kunkhani sithengisa.
Okay.
So le nawuza le lo mkhakha le bengisakhuma ngayo le sampling it's costly.
Right.
It's costly kakhulu. Then njoba ngisho nethi insipho uthenga from accredited. Tonke nto uthenga nawuzanele. Bese yona le standard bengikhuma ngaso. In the standard le ukuthi njalo ngeminyaka bayetha.
Yeah.
But those certify ba check usekahle yini. The last price we paid this last year it was over 120,000. So just for the standard sort one.
Yeah.
But to check out siyalandzela in le BRC standard. So uyabona ukuthi lama price vele aphinza abuye kulo mkhicito. Umkhicito ushiphe kakhulu. Kufana ngibekise ngesicathulo. Ngithi isicathulo semntwana ngeke ngibale itolo because I don't want ukunazana. But kwasitolo wathi ukuthi nangithenga toughies noma ngithenga nasicathulo esishiphe naso. Sitangla isikhathi esinganani. It's value for money. Lesikusho ukuthi nesithi na ufuna kuphila isikhathi lesizwe dlani nyama sembiveni uphile isikhathi lesizwe njengoba ngibekisela nangabe lo muntu akakacheck le nyama sengithi ne TB le TB so sinami ngidayithatha ngithi two nalokunye lokushiya sinabo pest control lesibaqashako kutobuka stilo kwata na dingeni ekhathi FM na yonke lengapani now we pay money so nangake ngikuinvite nje sokufike lembiveni ngeke ubone ngisho yinye imbungane ngeke uve ngisho neliphunga
ngawujabulela Nkosi
lesibasebenzisa high standard such that kude ngisho liphunga lenyama ngiko lo mhlambe lokuthi ukhule nje wathi na ukuthi inyama yahamba phambili yakuphi yasembive.
Nkosi ngiyajabulela leyo toll leyo but I think kakhulu ngingajabulela ukuthi nale nyama sikhwele ukuyitaste. Ngidawukhala ukuthi Denvolo ikhuluma ngisheshe ngiyithembe nami ngikhona ukubatshela abanye abantu. Sibonile ukuthi ngile na wina quality awards kakhulu since umnyaka wa 2017. How has that benefited the company? Kuwina nje lo ma awards lawo.
Umuntu ocela ngabonga litiko le nawuzane litiko la commerce and industry babe mancoba is doing a very good work lapha enzabeni promoter wona lama standards yebo kuyichamuka kokusukasada kusikwami lendzaba lena sibonga kakhulu etikweni lokuthi limake sure ukuthi bayazivulela nathi as a country ukuthi sizenze lama quiet awards aqala international webha yavulekile nje lamalanga wonke umuntu uvumelekile even nalaba labancane banema category akhona then ubhala lama question ubhale bahambe bakumakele lama judge lehlukile asho ukuthi ngibalo lo passayo kusitile ke sinembive to market our product siwawinile ma awards nawuzane product of the year exporter of the year even individual award personally because I've been in the quality field for a long time so nayo ngeke ngayiwina ngaphinzi last year I was just a runner up second runner up then exporter at national sayawina then company of the year sapa second runner up sase lokho kube sephinze kuneka ukuthi uhambe uyokhompyutha at SADC level SADC sphinze saya khona nga January saphinze sayawina exporter of the year.
Congratulations. I've noticed since the takeover Inyathi the marketing has been quite rigorous. I think nasethi ngudleni tekuchumana siyanibona siyatloya ukuthi kunenzaba ngensala enkunje live nyalo inzaba unemployment engabe nibuke ukuthi indawo khona ukuthi nisicashela abantu labasha noma nje sithi nje eMaswati nisaqhubeka.
Well noma ngeke ngene deep but le speed ngisibuya standard nyathi because inkhanza lapha ngekhathi mina ngendi quality le speed le standard nyathi ngibona I growth because already tingomo lesihlaba it's the double figure that will mean it will be a double work so nale marketing yabona ukuthi nyaloke high khona yakijinywa just like this weekend bese siphofaneni ku market wala lenyama kunamsandi kababa athi siyabusula kule nyama ngoba vele yabusilwa le nyama. Yeah, but nje ngiloko mina ngicabanga ukuthi there will be nanzane ama-chances eMaswati ukuthi athole umsebenzi endlela engibona ngayo lapha.
Sibonga Sandile Dlamini Quality Supervisor Eswatini Meat Industries kusipha nje isithombe sokuthi basaqhubeka ba developer le company bafisa yini what are their hopes and aspirations nemisebenzi nje lase bayendile lemihle kakhulu sibabongela ke ukuthi bahambile bayowina even on regional level asibahlole etmakethe masinyane. We come back with government spokesperson Alpheus Nxumalo lotabe akhulumisana nalungelele ngedouble celebration letaba khona masinyane lapha even.
Siyabonga umsakathi kuthiwa lithuba cha sivise eMaswati siphumile ngetinkani kulomnyaka we-2023 sibabonile inombolo yenyuka impela sibili yenyukile before kuvalwe. Bantu ke bafundisekile umsakathi ukuthi abaphume bayoncoma bavote ngoba uhulumende ngewabo intuthuko ibuya kubo. Yonke intuthuko lenteke emangweni ayisuqhamuka mhlambe kule inzawo ayiqhamuke ngetifiso tethu ukuthi besifise kube nanaku umsakathi kuloko.
Engabe mnguni kulesikhathi lesi ungakhuthatha uthini kuso sive seMaswati uyukhanze ukuthi siyabhalisa ngelizinga lesetulu nakufanele siyawuvota sive sisalele emuva mnguni.
Sive kusalela kwasomva ukuthi ingoni letinengi kungaba mhlawumbe kukhinyabeteka kwebantu ukuthi lona ukhubatekile ngandlela thite akakhona ukuhamba la kunyukela khona imbukwela umfula noma nje kube njani ngiko lesithi nako lokho kule ntuthuko lesithi asibavotela kona mhlambe bahambe bakufake ukuthi umuntu okhubatekile usicela naye cabangele kasisho ukuthi abacabangele kodwa nje lizinga liphakaphakama kubonakala ukuthi nabo bangeMaswati bayingcenye yethu. eParliament nakhona besinxusa lokuthi mhlawumbe nasetinkundleni ukuthi labo labakhubatekile bamane babe khona imivo yabo itovakaleka kakhulu kulabo mhlawumbe labanye labakhubatekile. Emangweni kunemisumbe kunabo labo nje tibonza temango ngibo lekufanele ukuthi phecelezi ba-identify bantu benzawo ngoba umuntu nje lofika kwencebo yadengcela ngiyabekisa uteleti injongo takhe lapha kubetelwa bekunene kutoholwa kutelwe kutodevelopa ummango. Ngicabanga ukuthi lokho abakwekhute labafanele ikakhulu lababuka imimango naleyo misumbe konke nje netindfuno.
Siyabonga mngoni.
Siyabonga kakhulu.
Welcome back. Sakuvusela nalo sanza kusivulela. As we had mentioned earlier, that we'll be joined by government spokesperson Alpheus Nxumalo to talk about major achievements of the country post-independence. He joins me now. Livile Eswatini ngelitawube likupa 55 years latfola inkhululeko kanye na 55 years ngoSemswato sithathu yadalwa mhla ka 6 September lekulanga lapho khona live latfola inkhululeko from the United Kingdom which had ruled since 1903. This holiday is an opportunity for Eswatini to celebrate and appreciate their freedom. Sakumuneke ukuthi emcimbini wokupa 50 years ngoSemswato sithathu uyashintsha ligama lelive from Swaziland to Eswatini. Sabe sibuka nje nemnguni ema-achievements elive solo live latfola inkhululeko kanye nenzima live lelidlalile noma layidlala kuthi namanye emave esifunda sakaSadak nawo athole inkhululeko. Mnguni asikuvusele siyabonga ukuthi ube nathi lo mhla ekseni mhlawumbe nje ukubuka nje emuva na ngesikhathi live likupa i-independence yekuqala nca kusiniketa nje isithombe sokuthi bekunjani nasibona nje mhlawumbe i-attendance service amaswati saphuma kanganani kusiniketa nje isithombe ukuthi bekunjani nje ngalelo suku lolo.
Siyabonga kakhulu nine bekunene bengosilenhle asenivusele kwakungumcimbi vele lomkhulu futhi umcimbi wenjabulo. Sive seMaswati utawukhumbula mthombeni kwekuthi ngiso sive cishe etiveni letinengi
leta sinasitilwela tikhulumela inkululeko asizange salwa kakhulu ngoba kwakusive besikholelwa ekuthenini konke lesikufunako sitakuthola ngokuthi sikhuluma ngemlomo sisebenzise naku lesibongelela ngayo inkosi yeMaswati ngiyabekisa sithi ngimagwaza ngebhenseli lamanye amakhosi agwaza ngemlomo lokho kusho skill sekunegotiator kusho skill sekusebenzisa idiplomacy eMaswati ke aku-achieve lo ngenjabulo mhla sekubuya indodawo instruments independence ahlangana ngempela ngekudumisa sithombe longaphosa usibonele saphinzeka futhi njengoba lo mcimbi phela sisi independence and his majesty's birthday saphinze sendeka futhi nga1986 na inkosi Mswati wesithathu seyisasa esihlalo sebukhosi nakhona eMaswati abuthana ngetinkani kaSomhlolo ajabula abonga uNkulunkulu ajabula ngikubonga ngemasiko ajabula ngekwemukela labanye baholi beregion babakhona lesibona ukuthi sithombe again lesitawuphoze sisibone kulomgcibelo lesiya kuloya mgcibelo we double celebration nalabancane bebangekho ngendiphethe bangekho ngekuthatha kwesihlalo senkosi Mswati wesithathu sebalitholile lithuba lale game number 3 kuthi bonela ukuthi eMaswati ajabula njani nangabe abonga lemicimbi lemkhulu lemibili ukutalwa kwenkosi kanye nekwemukela ukukhuleka kwelive
Nasibuka emuva nje phinze futhi emnguni nasibuka nje mhlambe i-development yelive since live lathola inkululeko nasibuka nje infrastructure sibuka kwakhiwa kwemigwaqo ingavele mhlambe live selikhule kanganani ngakhumbula nje sihle sitibona nje tithombe kubo social media tithombe bakutshela ukuthi lana kamanzini uyabo ukuthi vele bekusesede kahle lamabhilidi nemigwaqo bengasiyelele kahle I think nasibuka nje mhlambe le growth in the past 50 years ingabe vele mhlambe live selikhule kanganani nje
afanele ngempela eMaswati kuthi chenya emene inkosi yawo sibonga nenhlakanipho uNkulunkulu ayinikete amakhosi alelive nabo hulumende ke labavele basebentele eMaswati kwasisita lokuthi sibe nalolu hlobo lwetinkhundla system kuhola lelive nekubusa lelive ngoba sibebede kubambelelana ngokuthi siwebhane ukuthi ikhona ipart lefuna ukuketula lenye kube sibeke umgico livele nje live la focusa ngco ekudevelopeni nebekunene kuyadisho kuyadikhulumela sine lesithola nangenhlanhla lithutshanyana lekubuka letinye tindzawo la ngaphandle kulamanye emave ufike umangale kwekuthi eMaswati angabovelelwa inkinga namagama lakhulunywa ngeJesu athi a prophet does not have honor only in his hometown lenkosi ibe nelugalelo kakhulu ilandzela inyaweni tenkosobhusi angibekise nje emthombeni ngithi nasithatha indiphethe eMaswati la khona kubhala from 5 abasithupha kuphela emkhatsisini wawo kwakufaka lowa kwabangdunankulu lo sahambile emhlabeni babeBarnabas Sibusiso Dlamini ngekuthi ke sasite neuniversity wanela kubhala from 5 wase uyahamba uya ngeshare la kumathapha industrial site kwakunesitolo sinye vo male live lithatha inkululeko lamhla se wonke umuntu uyatibonela ukuthi mathapha unjani bonesi botishela kule live sasibalanza eNingizimu Afrika labanengi botishela bebaqhamuka la eKZN ikakhulu ngoba kwakufundwa siZulu vele la ekhaya then in the place of Siswati is introduced emuva bonesi bebaqhamuka eZimbabwe baqhamuka emaXhoseni baqhamuka kwaZulu Natal lo mhla konke kuyadikhulumela ngikuthumelele sithombe itolo mthombeni seParliament yokucala nayilela opposite ibuilding ya Royal Insurance bese uyabuka idevelopment nayi iParliament yakhiwa sesinayo lesendasi nayo ngestandard salumhla seyincane sekwakhiwa lenye manje naye itawubukana nemuntu wenkosi isigodlo kalozitha iParliament elitaba ibuilding yesithathu sibuya enkulekweni imigwaqo ninebekunene kude longayibona imigwaqo ya7 ukuthi injani nasithi imigwaqo ye first world status ele asikhulumi ukuthi siyamaketha sikhuluma into lo ngasinoma ngawubuka bomakhelwane ubuka kuphi eAfrica la kudevelopa khona nabaya nje lapha eTulu kubosa he region kulaba khamanawo kulamalanga baketula bahulumende uyamangala uzumanzi kubangwani ngoba lugagadu yonke lento ukuthi uhulumende longene office ende lutho lapha kangwane nine bekunene uNkulunkulu sisitile kakhulu lo mhlaba uthishela sesiya exporter lamhlaba onesi sesiyas exporter ngibathi bangakanani eLondon eMamelika akhiphe isimemetelo acele eMaswati ukuthi akeda ate usebenta abothishela bahamba baya bo Taiwan bayofundisa singisi khona la kungena singisi khona konke lokhu nine bekunene kukhomba ukukhula kwelive kukhomba idevelopment yelive bantwana itolo bebangalithola bonke lithuba lekuya esikoleni ngalokulinganako ikakhulu nangabe belivelela labaduna kuphela laba besifazane kuthiwa bavele bahlala edladleni nabogogo ngoba kude labangaba ngiko ngaphandle sibayokwenza lo mhla abantwana bonke babuthiwe basesikolweni baniketwe emathuba lalinganako bangena futhi ababhadalele uhulumende bonke kanye ku primary education lesikholwane ukuthi kutawuchubeka mhlambe ngekuvela kwabozuka nebekunene bafundiseke labantwana baze bawucetha ka form 5 nawubuka abantu labazala kule live bekude ushozukanyana labamtholako wekuthi mayena kuphela inyanga athola insipho nje yikuthi ageze angagezi ngemanda amhlophe lo mhla bogogo bathola imbashanyana labayitholako asisho ukuthi inengi kodwa sisho ukuthi imitamo lekhomba i-effort yebukhosi balelive lekhomba ligalelo le development lendeka kule live nanyalo njengoba sikhuluma akukabinzi imigwaqo yakhiwa i-infrastructure yasukuma lenkosi lekhona lena ine vision lenkulu nakufika ku vision yekwenda infrastructure event utawukhumbula Mthombeni ukuthi senathi seyincane trade fair asakhene mavuso saqhuqhumuka sonke ukuthi lento itawusebenzani ndaba iwhat elephant lena kuthi abanjani nayi mavuso lomhla is the busiest business center in the kingdom of Eswatini lama developments le wendile live together nengonyama Mswati wesithathu kuhamle umthwalo omkhulu kubantu abethu na generation yethu letako ngoba kusho ukuthi nakwakha i-development kufuna yield ema results lamuhla ubuka ukuthi bona imadlana ikhona lomhla ungayikhunga kuphi kuzibe lusito ku generation letako abasuyakha abantu abethu i-International Convention Center abasuyakha abantu abethu i-International Airport sebaya ubuka lokunye kuyabe kuthi ngodesikhathi ulive selibabekele ibase ye development konke lokhu kwendeke sesiyitholile indiphethe sithi sebendela singemaswati lesimbonga kakhulu uNkulunkulu kusinika emakhosi la njengalawa kusinika uhulumende lonje nekusiniketa emajaha nentombi letifana nani magagula letivuke ebusuku ukuthi usebenta la kuze live likwati kuqhubeka liyembili live litabeke libonga lidumisa lokho lelikwendile kule minyaka solo lisuka kundiphethe ngikhulume kakhulu
siselapho nje mngoni sisabuka nje timvo live lelitendile timvo letinhle noma mhlambe ama major achievements I think mhlambe singathanza nje ukuthi usinikete isithombe sekuthi because siyathi ukuthi live lidlalile inzima ekutheni lamanye emave lapha esifundeni saka Sadak nawo akhona ukuthola inkhululeko ngabe vele mhlambe live leSwatini likhona kusita njani lawo mave la ukuthi nawo abe liberated.
The kings of this country are visionary leaders. Lendiza yokuqala kwakuthiwa ludondolo. Iyayivele inkosi sobhuza ithengeleke ukuthi kusitakale laba semzabalazweni wekukhululeka kwemave eSadak. Nesizathu sekuthi ngede yayibita ngekuthi is a military aircraft iyende be commercial aircraft. Yayivele yendela kusemabhunu abenako lokuthi angede alingeka kwati kwekuthi kugibele bani kulendiza ngoba yayisuka la kisi route lenkulu yayihamba iye Tanzania suke eTanzania iye Zambia isuke eZambia ite ekhaya ngoba ebengeke emabhunu alithole lithuba lekuhlukubeta laba bemzabalazo beba kule mave lamabili lengwatsinzako lona nje lophethe indiza nyalo babe PQ Dlamini Qiniso abevela sakuleyo ndiza leyo ayi first officer nguye lona experience lebanti ekuhamba kwalendiza eMaswati la ikhiphile isita laba bebalwela ukukhuleka kwemave abo ku region sesikuphinza phinzeka nengi kwekusi president Thabo Mbeki we South Africa abehlala la kaMsunduza naGebuza naye lo wabe ogcina ngipresident eMozambique igcine ke inkosi oBhuzi yamsusa Mbeki la eMsunduza isaba ukuthi kungenteka mhlambe bese ukhohlwa umsebenzi wakhe lomkhulu ngoba ungase bemanengene emahewana bekaphiswa la uthi kahamba ahlale na Jacob Zuma eNgwane Park nemsebenzi live labaninga Nkosazana Zuma bela sibedlela Mbeki wafundzisa lapha eSt Christopher's make baleka Mbethe lokugcine angu speaker eParliament wafundzisa la eSt Marks ngidawugcina ke saswethu ngeke ukuthi na ingwenyama iseHarare eZimbabwe kule state visit sekugcina nje lesende yole nyanga lephelile ufike president wakhona Emerson Mnangagwa kuqaphasa uyathi bongele enkosini ngendlela eMaswati laba protecta ngayo beZimbabwe nabahleli la khaya ngoba nawe bahlala together la beta bahlale nabo Zuma baplane ukuthi babambisana njani kuthola inkululeko emaveni abo livela kangwane ke labanika iprotection yabanika isanctuary kuze bakwati ukuthi lamava agcina akhululekile Samora Machel the first president post independence yase Mozambique abehlala ka Dr Shayi Nxumalo la eThembelihle so onke lamave akhululeka vele bakangwane bayi center of support now tawubekisa nje uthola nekwekuthi uthi president Mnangagwa bekunguye nabeketa lapha kangwana tawuthengela leadership yase Zimbabwe kudla ngoba bekude kudla eMozambique ngaletimbi kusike njalo ngenyanga kufune lamba abana tu wenda igrosa yenyanga yonke nome balana benda le grosa inkosi oBhuzi phinze futhi thumele lo mthumela umntwana enkosi athenge lokudla babhadalele baphume bahambe bayohlala inyanga yonke eMozambique batakubuya njalo Mnangagwa totsenga nakuphela lenye inyanga so lelive la kangwane libe yicenter yesupport kakhulu kukhulula lamave labegcinzetekile in the region aphinze futhi kwaba netimadlana emakhosi lesati ukuthi athi thukulule licothweni kwathengwa umshini weqala nje eofisini leANC typing machine wathengwa amakhosi akangwane conference yokuqala yeANC leyayibamba nga1912 eBloemfontein nayitawusukunyiswa officially African National Congress ya sponsorishwa ngemakhosi akangwane i-conference yokuqala beSouth Africa labayibamba nemangisi iSouth Africa isenga emangisi angayishiye emabhunwini emathikiti okuhamba ngemkhumbi baye London bayonegotiate nemangisi netimali kuba conference le the whole time tabhatalwa ngemakhosi akangwane siyethemba nabo beSouth Africa at some point batawukhumbula babuye batewubonga bende naku lengubone kwendiwa ngupresident Mnangagwa weZimbabwe atibongele enkosini Mswati wesithathu lokwendiwe ilivela kangwane naMaswati ekukhulula eZimbabwe
yeah cha kokhulu impela lokwendiwe elive la kaSeswatini Mnguni vele I think loku celebrate vele kuyafuneka lokuthi sihle sikwenda vele njalo ngeminyaka I think nasingabele emuva nje mhlambe sibuke ama highlights lapho sasigubha 50 years which was in 2018 I think one of the highlights nje ngiyenzaba yokuthi ingwenyama yashintsha ligama lelive from Swaziland to Eswatini I think kwaba ne confusion masacala kudevelop indzaba because labanye bebathi hayi inkosi ishintshe ngesizathu sokuthi basiphambanisa nelive leSwitzerland I think mhlambe singakhuluma nje ngaloko lobumcuka nje ukuthi vele sibuyele egameni lethu landvulo la Eswatini
kakhulu tsatswethu nawubuka nje nemakhosi akangwane bomSwati Mswati weqala Mswati wesibili Mswati wesithathu vele si Eswatini lokwendeka ingwenyama la yayingadzingi ukuthi icele ipermission to anyone as a leader and head of state ngoba yayicorrecta into lebeyoniwe ngumlando sasivele singasiyo iSwaziland kulokuthiwa Swaziland kube into leyaqala na again emangisi asasishiya kulaba beSouth Africa nasahamba kwase kubonakala ke ukuthi mhlambe ngaleso sikhathi kwakukuningi naloku dila nemazulu sagcina njengoba bengibekusena earlier on ukuthi sasivele nasetikolweni kufundzwa isiZulu la kwabalula ke lo sigcina Swaziland kanzi na ubuyele emlandweni inkosi ivele ilungisa lokho bese base Eswatini singemaswati lo ngamana ukusho wawungamana uthi sibaka ngwane live la kangwane njengoba nalamhla sihle sikusebenzisa interchangeably nje nasikhuluma nalabali sikhuluma ulwimi lesivana nabo kwakude sizathi noma bantu basizitela labanye basiziteliswa nje ukuthi bantu bayithanda ipolitiki kuyivusa nala ingakalali khona inkosi yenda kahle kakhulu kwekuthi isibuyisele leli gama which is our rightful identical name as Eswatini.
Yeah, kugcina nje Nkosi wami mina sonke vele mhla 6 September sibhekekile ukuthi siyogubha lelanga leli mqokana kangaka khona e-stadium.
Ngumkhosi lomkhulu nine bekunene lo historical. Kude lo ngahlala ekhaya na kunemcimbi longaka ngoba kuba kahle into utibonele wena. Ungacocelwa ngumuntu. Baseta baka Home Affairs Communication wethu umlando kubeka iprogram ukuthi yabe imenjani sinemhlonishwa ndunankulu luhlaka lwenkulumo yakhe sesuluhlanganisile sitamniketa naye usethu umlomzala ukukhuluma lokhu sesigabeni sakhe naye longanga uhalalisele emaswati kulomcimbi sakulungiselela ke kwehla sonke siyawudivela ngendlebe tethu ukuthi libhodla lithini libhubesi during his 55th birthday and the 55th independence of the Kingdom of Eswatini.
All right, thank you so much Mnguni sibakhulu isikhathi sakho lomhla ekseni mbukele sokuthi vele ukuthi mhla ka6 sengilo langa lapho khona level tabele kuba yona double celebration 55 years of independence and 55 years langa lenkosi Mswati Sithafula ladalwa ngayo. Sibahlete makethe sitabuye sitophetha hlelo nasifiso.
Ubusebiyelele wena Mswati wabusa phambi kwetitha wasuyathi ndlula wasuyahlamba wasuyashashabula uyimbubu ngonyama ngumkhokho yabalekela udle ematholo ezinyathi wena waphakathi bayethi
Umnyaka wa 2023 ngumnyaka lomkhulu eSwatini njengoba live lihalalisela ingwenyama yenkosi Mswati wesithathu iminyaka lengama-55 yadalwa lehlanganiswe negubha iminyaka lengama-55 live latfola amazibuse Gamisa lo mkhosi lomkhulu welive umsakazo weSwatini TV umemasive ukuthi sibukele tinhlelo elikhombisa imisebenzi yentuthuko yelive leyasukunyiswa yaphinze yasekelwa silo inkosi Mswati wesithathu lesoloyisa imamise live nalomuhla inhlelo lingena njalo ngelisonto ngensimbi yesine entsambama halala mbangazitha halala eSwatini.
We at Eswatini Television Authority are committed to observing the Eswatini Communication Commission's Broadcasting Code of Conduct.
Under the code, we are committed to broadcast news that is current, free from hate speech, accurate, balanced, and fair.
From politics to business, health, agriculture, courts, and global news, we bring you the latest updates as they happen, when they happen.
We cover all the sporting codes from the football pitch to the chessboards.
This is Eswatini TV News.
It's 2 minutes before 8 o'clock. So speaking thank you for joining us this morning. It is the 23rd of August. We'll see you tomorrow.
Libandla letshela ukhefo nemingcele i-EBC latisa sive semaswati ukuthi mhla ka-26 Ingci 2023 lilanga lelibekelwe sigaba selukhetfo lekuqala kuleti gaba sive sidabe sikhetha labaqhuzelana kuba indvuna yenkundla noma kuba lilunga lephalamende emiphakathini yabo. Tikhungo tekuvula titawuvulwa ngensimbi yesikhombisa kudzimate kube insimbi yesikhombisa Ntsambama. Sive siyacelwa ukuthi sikhumbule kuphatha bomatisi baso siphinde sigcine nesikhathi.
Livoti lami libalulekile futhi alithengiswa. Ngede ngasala nasakha live letfu.